Welcome to the PTA Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, John Caliger. I'm accompanied by my co-host, Nick Kelling.
Howdy.
Nick, how you doing today?
Great. Kind of a slow day for me today. Didn't get much calls in.
Yeah.
Wrapping up my classes and starting new classes. So not a lot of work, but a lot of education.
How did your final go?
They all went fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got A's in all of them.
I'm going back to school January 22nd, so I'm excited to get back on that grind.
All right, sweet. Yeah, I started one class right now, and then I start my other classes in February.
Yes. Did you do anything fun over the weekend?
No, not really. I just got all my stuff ready.
As you should, pre-mission planning.
Yeah.
I went to, remember Coochie?
Yep.
His girlfriend became a cop, so now he's a badge bunny. So we went to her grad party. It was pretty fun.
Nice. Fun.
And dude, I learned something today. So my phone is currently out of commission because I don't know if you knew this, but since the iPhone 14, there's no longer SIM cards. There's only electronic SIM cards. So when they were doing at night when they, you know how they do the automatic updates?
Yeah.
So my electronic SIM card file got corrupted when they did the automatic update. So my phone no longer works. I can no longer send or receive text messages, and my phone battery just drains because it keeps on searching and searching for service. So my phone battery lasts like 30 seconds. And then I asked the guy when I want to go in there, I was like, so what are we going to do here? He's like, well, there's this new eSIM card, but it's illegal in Europe. I'm like, you're telling me right now, if Verizon wanted to, they could just look up my number and turn off my SIM card and my phone would be done. He's like, yeah. I was like,
damn.
Oh. I was like, this eSIM card I'm not a fan of it whatsoever. But in Europe, they didn't have a regular SIM card because if I just had if I had a European phone, they literally would just take out the SIM card and replace it, and I would be on my merry way. But now I'm battling with these people trying to get I'm getting a brand new phone overnighted to me.
Oh, sweet.
It was on Saturday.
Covering it because they like corrupted it, or they like
it's just an automatic update. It's completely free. I'm under the warranty the whole nine, but I'm literally getting a full phone because we don't do real SIM cards anymore, which is scary to me because like if you think about it, if you tweet something wrong, next thing you know, they shut off your eSIM.
Yeah.
No, like my phone does not work at all without
Did
Wi-Fi.
you tweet something political or something?
Hopefully it's not one of my sons in Oakley maybe have a vendetta against me.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know about that. We got to do an episode on that.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on here? Because he's like, yeah, there's no more SIM cards. He's like, all we need to do use SIM cards is junk now. And I was like, is this a common issue? He's like, no. I was like, it just must be my lucky day, my luck.
Because isn't most of our SIM cards made in
no, there's no more SIM cards left. No, like I don't know about. Really? I know for Apple, if you going forward since the iPhone 14 and forward, there is no more SIM cards. It's all electronic.
Wow.
Because there's literally a port in the phone for the SIM card, hence like the European. But there's nothing in the port. It's just a hole in your phone.
Wow. That's kind of scary.
It was very scary. I was like, damn. Because my phone, I was like, what happened to it? And I brought it in. And the guy's like, yeah, your SIM card got corrupted when it was downloading the update.
Okay. Well, I don't think my phone has updated because I turned that auto update off. So I have to manually do it.
Yeah. I should.
So I think I'm just not going to update it.
Yeah. So let's get into the article. Adobe and Figma call off a $20 billion acquisition after regulatory scrutiny. You know me on this podcast, some people aka Nick, have accused me of being a liberal. I'm a fan of this because I think there's too much big business anyway, because 80%, I think it's 75 or 80%, don't quote me, of all the companies on the S&P 500 are owned by like 4 corporations. So I'm happy that big business is not getting bigger.
Yeah. I mean, Adobe is already a huge company. Them just acquiring another asset.
Yeah.
I mean, at what point is the government going to intervene and break up some of these companies?
Yeah, because that was a major deal. If we go back a little bit of history, the trust busting was a big deal. Was that in the 20s or the 30s?
I don't know, 2030. I don't know.
In some well, that has happened. There is historic precedent of whatever the date is
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
of the trust
Antitrust
busting,
laws. Yeah.
all that stuff created because what's worrying me because you know how Disney is stocks tanking and they're producing all those flops and all that liberal shit.
Yeah.
Well, what's worrying me, the only company if they go bankrupt or if their numbers continue to decline, people are talking. Word on the street is
Apple.
Apple's going to buy them because
Yep.
they're going to do it. And Disney is like the one of the 7 major corporations, so that means we're going to go down to 6.
Birthway
Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah, I think his stocks, he owns 80% Apple right now. He just bought a bunch of Apple. So
His portfolio maybe because
his
I know.
portfolio, yeah,
Yeah,
is like 80% Apple right now.
that was my portfolio when I purchased my home was 80%.
So I think Apple's about to do something big. So if you have some money laying around, you might want to maybe invest in some Apple because it might
But
go up.
I don't want them to. I don't want Apple to buy Disney because then we're going from 7
I
to
mean,
6. It's getting smaller, and then next thing you know, it's going to be 3, and then 2, and then there's going to be 1, and then it's going to be tyranny. When they
yeah,
get dramatic.
yeah, because Apple TV is gonna pretty much own Disney Plus for streaming
Yeah,
wise, and
yeah.
then what their competitor is still gonna be Hulu and Netflix. Though.
Because who owns Netflix? Did Netflix ever merge with anyone, or are they still a sentient company?
I think they're still pretty individual. Yeah, sentient.
Because I know Amazon owns because who owns HBO? Because what's
Hulu.
annoying me is when they said, "Oh, we're going to do all the streaming services. It's going to be better than cable." Yada yada. Now it's more expensive and more complicated and works less. Because I was actually talking to the Verizon guy. I was like, I'm waiting for someone to get their crap together and be like, "This is going to be your social media hub or like your streaming hub of
Hmm.
you have your this is like where you're native to. Like it could be either Verizon or it could be Netflix or it could be like Hulu. Choose like this is what I hope happens, and this is what the guys said they're Verizon's working on of where whatever app or service you're native to that you're most comfortable using, you just can be able to buy like if you want to have like bundle it through there. So like since I'm a Verizon user, I'm okay with the Verizon app. Like I know how to utilize it. It'd be nice just to manage my subscriptions. Like, oh, I want to have Netflix, the NFL Network, and Hulu. And then I just go pay through them. It's on my Verizon bill. As opposed to now, it's like $15 a month doing this, $15 a month doing that. You got like, you know how Amazon's trying to do that kind of where you can
Hmm.
like they do a very poor job of it. I need like this is the icon or the app. This is where it's all the same username, all the same password, and it just builds out of one thing.
That's a smart idea. Um,
That's
'Cause
that's what
I
Verizon trying.
know there's companies like Rocket Mortgage.
Yeah.
They have an app where you can do all your subscriptions through their app.
Yeah, but you can't watch. I'm saying like it'd be like
But yeah, yeah.
I need something where it's like I want all my bill to come through here. I want if I want to pull it up, like there's like like how there's like Netflix, for example, where they have like those icons for the new show. I
Yeah.
would like the top bar. What like I go into Netflix because I know how to utilize Netflix. Okay, do I want to watch an HBO Max show or do I want to go through Hulu? You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Hmm.
or I can toggle back and forth. I cannot wait for them
It's
to be
all in one place.
yeah, and then you just choose the apps. Like that's not that hard. Or maybe if it's not Netflix, maybe it should go through like your provider. Like I wouldn't be opposed to like Verizon. Like if AT&T, Verizon, and or the major phone companies like their app or like part of their payments, like hey, we're the native app. We do your Wi-Fi and everything. Just come through us, and you can go through like the Verizon app to watch YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Or Netflix.
Yeah. I mean, I think my setup's pretty good. I got like the Roku type thing right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I just toggle through Netflix, Disney Plus, whatever, and I can choose it. Like YouTube's right on there. I can watch the debates off of my YouTube, like on the TV.
You know, I think that's what we have
But
the
paying,
ours
yeah,
to. I would love for it just like if it all just went through my Verizon bill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if it was all just one bill, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, and then you get to pick and choose in Verizon. Like, do I want Hulu this month or do I want Netflix? You know what I'm saying? Cancel.
Mhm.
I know
Yeah,
I'm not a big business guy, but like, can we pick up the phone and do a little bit of liaison? You know what I'm saying? Like they send people do liaison all the time. Like, can we just work together a little bit?
yeah, definitely.
Because cable is honestly better now. Everyone crapped on cable. Now cable's easy. You just plug in your crap and you keep it moving.
Yeah, and I mean Hulu, you still have all those commercials on Hulu
Yeah,
if you don't have like the expensive one. So
yeah.
because everyone chat on cable because of the commercials.
Yeah. Well, commercials definitely have gone downhill so much.
Oh yeah. Nobody wants to watch TV with commercials.
No.
That's why I think cable has to adapt something with their commercials.
Well, my theory on commercials is they went. Remember, like back in the day when we were kids, they were so much better.
No, I always hated commercials.
Well, they used to be done way better. I just think because of like social media and everyone's like their own marketer, like the best people just have their own stuff. Like if you're the best marketer, you're doing an Instagram or YouTube page, or you're not working for Joe Schmo advertiser anymore.
Yeah.
So the best people doing it no longer work for them. I think that's why they went downhill. There's no, I carry no stats. No, that's just pure gut call of like, I think the best people no longer work for that medium. Because I think even advertisers are kind of like they're no longer, because like the number one average, like people who spent the most money last year was who printed all the vaccines? Pfizer. Pfizer is the number one people who gave money for advertisers. Now advertisers are going to like YouTube channels, podcasts, like that type of stuff, because they know that's where people, people no longer utilizing cable.
So it's definitely YouTube, social media, NPOs.
Yeah. So just get back to the article after that rabbit hole. Why I think this is a win for the consumer, because you remember like last year everyone was losing their mind because all the hedge funds and everyone's buying single family homes, and it was hard for the regular Joe Schmo to purchase a home. Well, now they're like transitioning to they're like, why are we buying 100 homes when we can just buy a local bank? Like because majority of commercial real estate was held by either regional, or not like the global banks, but like the regional banks own a lot of commercial real estate. So they're doing is, since banks are getting consolidated, like there used to be something called a local bank. Local banks no longer exist. Now it's mostly just credit unions and regional banks and national banks. So now what the hedge funds are doing are buying all the regional credit unions and stuff like that, and just utilizing to buy all the commercial real estate. It's crazy.
Wow.
Not like that at all. I do not think if you're a Joe Schmo hedge fund, you should be able to buy a bank.
No, no, that is ridiculous.
Call me a socialist. I don't think a hedge fund should be able to buy a regional or local bank.
No, yeah, I think that's a little too much.
Yeah, that is not. I don't think that's capitalism. If
no,
I'm
no,
being
no, I don't think that, no.
Because now
big business, like monopolies, are the death of capitalism.
Yeah, it's the definition of like oligarchy. I don't want to. Yeah, it's one step away.
Capitalism goes too big.
Yeah, because now it used to be able, like, oh, you could have a relationship with your local bank of like, hey, I'm not gonna make my mortgage payment, and like you went to high school with Jimmy, and now Jimmy is the branch manager, and now you have your house and your car took a dump, and you like, yo, Jimmy, like, what can we make a deal here? Those things that does not exist at all in banking. I know that's true because like all the older customers come in like and ask like questions like that, and like they always complain that customer service went downhill, because if you banked at like a local bank, they got people service, like they needed your funds, they needed your CDs and stuff like that. So as banks get bigger and bigger and there's less and less of them, the customer service and like what you can do to them diminishes greatly.
Oh yeah.
Because now
small town, I grew up in a small town, and we still have our local bank, but I don't know how long it's going to stay there. But
because your bank has 12 people, your town has 12.
Yes,
I've been
Yeah.
in Nick's hometown. Like,
No,
no,
yeah, it's
no
super
offense to
small town.
Minnesota. Yeah. Yo, fun
Super
fact:
small.
when I went to go visit Nick, I think it was 2 Decembers ago,
Yeah, I think
and
it was like 2 years ago. Yeah.
it was so cold. Like the morning I left, because he lived 9 hours away from me, so I had to leave at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I remember it being so cold, and I was wearing a jacket, a gloves, a hat, boots. Like I
That
was
doesn't matter.
an idiot. And I remember starting my car. My car was so cold. I literally drove to the gas station, like down the street from his house, and I left it running to warm up. I was walking around the gas station, like, holy smokes, was this? Well, I've never been that cold than that like winter day in Minnesota, because that was before Christmas, right? Because that was before I moved to PA. So it was
Yeah,
probably 3 years ago, 2 years ago,
yeah,
around
2 years ago.
yeah.
Yeah, this year they barely even have any snow on the ground right now. Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
going to head up there for Christmas, and it's going to be maybe 40, 30 degrees the whole time.
yeah, there's been no. I live on the Jersey Shore. We have not had a lick of snow, like not even a flurry.
Yeah. But
Sorry.
next year, it's always like you have like some hot years, and then out of nowhere, a super cold year. You have a hot year, super cold year.
Because
So
it was
I bet you next year is going to be super cold.
a warm summer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, next year is going to be super cold. That's my guess.
Yeah. Well, they said this
There's
year,
absolutely nothing other than observation throughout the years.
those weather people and those liberals with global warming, they don't know anything.
No.
I swear that they just lick their finger and hold it up and say it's going to be cold next year, or California's going to go in the ocean because of Al Gore said it.
Exactly.
That's one thing that like is annoying about COVID, is that like you can't trust these people anymore. Like when someone goes on like legitimately, like I feel like I'm a very like I try to be as even and as fair as possible. But like when someone goes online, like, oh, he was like a Princeton medical person, like that guy's a jackass. Like if you're Ivy League, I don't trust anything you like. If you wanted like the people who you're supposed to believe, it's like you lied so much about so many things, and you were so. All I have to say is like, yo, we misread that situation. We were wrong. Hand up, like, yo, I'll probably believe you again.
That
But
never happens.
I have no faith in these people. It's like when someone's like goes on TV, and like, I have a Harvard medical degree. I'm like, you're just dumb. Like you just wrong.
You don't even know what a woman is.
I have no, like they did it to themselves. Like they had all the power, they had all the respect and the prestige. Now I just look at you like you're dumb. Like, oh
Yeah.
you went to Illinois, like you have like a business school from Champaign Urbana. I wipe my ass with that degree. You're so dumb. Like you did it yourself. You lied, you cheated, you stole.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, you can't.
I can't trust you anymore.
Yeah, don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining. Like, you lost all clout or credibility with me. Honestly, I'm like, oh, you're wrong.
Yeah, I think the most deceiving thing that I've seen lately was so NASA has this study about climate scientists agreeing that climate change is real and it's man-made. It's like 97%, but it's not NASA that was deceitful. Like you can click on the study and you can look through everything and be like, oh, okay. Like there's some scientists that thinks it's like 1% is human, and some think like 80% or something like that. But then I saw a video of Obama saying, "Oh, this is settled science. The world is gonna end. Like we need the Paris Climate Accord and all that baloney to solve this problem." It's like, bro, you're literally lying to us. You're lying to us. Like this is not what the study is saying.
Dude, and that's what annoys me, because I'm a Christian and I believe in God. What annoys me about the scientist people is, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like the scientific method is either to prove your hypothesis correct or incorrect. So that's the reason why we like it's literally the scientific method is to disprove previously held beliefs. So if you're saying the science says, the science says, the science says, but the science is not definitive. Like if you're going to sit on your high horse of education as a liberal and talk to me about science, at least know what the scientific method is and why we utilize it. Like don't come at me all high horse when like
they're all biased.
Yeah, like I'm not even saying slides. Like science is not supposed to be definitive. Science is supposed to be like you're supposed to run experience on it and like like you're supposed to find new and more things and constantly improve. That's why it's called the scientific method. that's why the definition of insanity is doing the same thing repeatedly. As the antithesis of the scientific method. So don't tell me, oh, it's definitive, and then just lie, cheat, and steal. I'm sorry, I have no respect for you as a human being, or as a leader, or as anything after that.
The whole claim is ridiculous because the scientific consensus is that we're in the 5th ice age and that temperatures have risen like super high to mass extinctions like 4 other times. So if you're saying that, but then you're saying this time is different, it's because of us, but like the world heated up 4 other times to mass levels. Why is now any different from the other 4 times?
Yeah, and I'm not going to sit here and say if I don't know if global warming is man-made. Let's be fair. I'm assuming that we had an effect on it. Let's just be real. Like, there's probably 100% chance that we had an effect on it, but the level,
like, is it 1%? Is it 80%?
I have no idea.
Nobody fucking knows.
Yeah, there's no definitive answer. So don't charge me a carbon tax or jam up small business. Like, they're just using it as an excuse to jam up people. So it's crazy to me. Like, when people get on their high horse about science, like, okay, like, talk to me about the scientific method or talk to me about this. But no, it's like you're just brainwashed. I've never
believe the world is going to end in 30 years.
No. If the world's in 30 years, they won't be giving out 30-year mortgages. That's that is for damn sure. Nick, I think we should wrap this episode up. What are
big business? That's what it is.
Yes, it is big business, and we need to fight. I think next week we should talk about like Frankenstein and zombie companies and the effect they have on the economy. Because I am passionate about that topic, and I don't really like it. So next week we'll do this will be a teaser. Next week we'll do a deep dive into that.
Okay.
Nick, where can the people find you?
They can find me at Kelling Realty Group, or on Twitter, or on Instagram, or my personal, just N Kelling. Just you can message me there if you're interested in real estate anywhere in the country. And in Houston, I can personally help you.
Yes, and please go follow the pod on YouTube. It's PTA_pod, and then on Instagram, Real PTA podcast. And then please share, like, and subscribe.
Add comments as well if you have any questions about anything that we're talking about. Type it in there, and one of us can get back to you.
Awesome. Everyone have a God bless, and have a great rest of your day.